Oui, oui, oui.
No, it's way.
Ouais.
Bienvenue à Paris. Welcome in France. En
Thank
forme?
you. Yeah, thank you.
Vous allez bien? Vous parlez un peu
How you
français?
feeling?
He's completely fluent. The guy right there is fluent.
I'll try
Yes,
to be.
he's fluent in French.
Je parle français.
Yeah.
Oui.
I know both.
Ah, très bien.
Merci.
Est-ce qu'ils connaissent quelques mots quand même? Un petit peu?
Do you know a few words of French?
We know enough to know if we're being insulted or if we've pissed somebody off. We know.
Je vais traduire.
Yeah,
Donc,
that's about
on
it.
sait assez pour savoir si
Yeah.
on s'est insulté ou si justement on dit des choses que les gens n'aiment
Donc
pas.
attention ce soir,
Ouais.
pas d'insultes. Pas d'insultes, je compte sur vous.
Yeah.
Est-ce que vous avez un souvenir de un moment, une soirée en France, à Paris?
Do you have a good memory of a moment in France, in Paris?
Many good memories. I've been coming here since I was 17, so that's at least 4 years. And yeah, I've good memories. One year I was on the, I was by myself in Paris right around Christmas time, and I went to the top of the Eiffel Tower. The first time I'd ever done that. I haven't done it since then because it's just, you don't need to do it twice. And I went up there and was by myself, and there were 10 couples all up making out on top, and I was the only guy there with nobody. And it was 0 degrees Celsius. No, it was like negative 10 Celsius. And that was one of my first memories of Paris.
Il a beaucoup de souvenirs.
Yeah.
Donc, la première fois qu'il est venu, c'était il y a 4 ans quand il avait 17 ans. Et du coup, il se rappelle une fois où il était venu à Noël, ici à Paris, il était allé sur la Tour Eiffel et il était le seul, malgré tout, célibataire. Et il y avait plein de couples qui s'embrassaient là-haut. Et c'est moins de 20 degrés, donc c'était un peu dur pour lui. Voilà un de ses meilleurs souvenirs à Paris.
On va reparler de l'album qui est sorti l'année dernière. Au mois de mars, vous serez au Trianon à Paris. Juste avant, j'aimerais retracer cette carrière quand même assez incroyable qui a démarré sur les bancs du lycée. Est-ce que c'est vrai?
So we're going to talk about your career. You started on high school together?
Briefly, yeah. I mean, we were in kind of a fake band for a few months in high school. And
On avait
then,
une sorte de groupe au lycée pendant quelques mois.
Il n'y a pas un dossier quand tu étais élève, quand tu étais étudiant, tu as séché les cours forcément pour aller faire de la musique ou un petit truc genre pour assurer tous les étudiants qui nous regardent ou qui nous écoutent?
Can you tell us a few stories about you being bad at school?
Did you do anything bad at school? I don't remember.
not
Delicious.
not the year that I was with you, that we went to the same school, but
I held you accountable.
yeah, I got kicked out of every single class that I was in. The school that I went to before I was in school with him, I got kicked out of every single class that I had. I had seven different classes, and every single one kicked me out of class.
Avant de rencontrer mon ami, du coup, j'étais fait
So I just didn't.
sortir de toutes les classes dans lesquelles j'étais.
I just talked, and if I wasn't interested in what was happening, then I didn't care. So I would do anything, tell jokes or draw or listen to music. I'd put headphones on and sit in I was the guy in the back of the class with headphones. I just didn't care.
Et comme j'étais pas très intéressé par ce qui se passait, j'étais très dissipé, du coup je mettais mes écouteurs et je faisais vraiment autre chose. Voilà, quoi.
Et ça a payé. Il est devenu OneRepublic, c'est plutôt pas mal. Il y a quelques années, ça a démarré sur Myspace. Ça nous rajeunit pas, Myspace. Des millions de vues sur Myspace et le tube Apologize, qui était sur le premier album. Quel est le souvenir de cette période? Est-ce qu'il y a un souvenir marquant de cette période? C'était il y a 7 ans.
It all started with Myspace, so some time ago. Do you have a really fond memory, a good big memory for back in the days? Can you tell us?
MySpace. Yeah, it was. Trying to think. We we didn't really know how to. It's very difficult to start a band, and try to make it. It's just very difficult. It still is very difficult, but the internet was just starting to really explode, and MySpace was the biggest thing. Facebook had barely started, and I think with MySpace, I just saw it and quickly thought, it's free, and I think there was millions and millions of people on it. We just had this idea that, okay, this is going to be our thing. Different bands have different things. Some bands get played on local radio and then national radio, and then they get signed. And some bands just play a bunch of clubs. and for us, MySpace, the internet was like, this is our generation. We use the internet to communicate. We use the internet to find jobs, to find girls, yeah. And so this was the beginning. And we said, let's use it to find a career and to find a record label and to find fans. And thank God for the internet, because that's how most of us probably communicate now.
Bah, vraiment, MySpace, c'était l'outil de la génération à l'époque, et c'était, contrairement à Facebook, qui à l'époque n'était pas encore très gros, vraiment, MySpace était très mature, et il y avait beaucoup de gens dessus. Donc nous, on s'est dit, vraiment, c'était le vecteur pour que nous, on se développe. D'autres groupes peuvent aller en radio locale, et voilà, nous, c'était vraiment... On a utilisé MySpace comme le meilleur outil pour se faire connaître, et le tremplin, et du coup c'est aussi un outil pour trouver des filles, pour trouver du travail, et pour se faire connaître. Voilà.
Je vois ce que tu as retenu. Apologize, c'est le plus gros tube. C'est encore le morceau le plus téléchargé légalement aux États-Unis. Est-ce qu'ils suivent encore un peu les chiffres pour voir s'ils vont garder cette première position?
Apologize was the most legally downloaded track. And do you look at other competition? Do you benchmark yourself with new bands today and see how it's going?
With other bands, I think you can't help but be aware of other bands. I don't pay too much attention to the statistics. So, like, I can tell if a band is blowing up, but I couldn't tell you, did they sell more than us? Did they sell less than us? We found out today, 30 minutes ago, actually, that Counting Stars just passed Apologize as the biggest song we put out. So, thank God. And it's more important because here it is 6 years later. I think the test with most bands and most artists for us now, because we've always, you have the tortoise and the hare, and we've always thought of ourselves as the tortoise. It's always been, in every country for us, it's always been like this. And we were saying earlier today that, like, we're constantly going like that, and along the way, we see bands go whoosh, doof, whoosh, doof, and that's the test. It's like, I like your song, I went to your show, but I don't know if you'll be here in 5 years.
Ben voilà, comme dans justement la fable du lièvre et de la tortue, nous on y va progressivement et on monte progressivement. On voit des groupes qui justement on les observe sur internet et on voit sans savoir si vraiment ils vendent beaucoup plus que nous. On sait très bien quand un groupe est à la mode et voilà. Mais il y a des groupes qui montent et qui descendent très rapidement et nous on se voit plutôt comme une tortue qui avance progressivement, mais avec beaucoup de fans.
Ouais.
Et sûrement, ouais.
Apologize, il y a la version pop, il y a la version R&B avec Timbaland. Un remix qui a été vendu à plus de 10 millions d'exemplaires. Comment ça s'est passé? Quel souvenir vous gardez d'avoir bossé avec un boss, un producteur qui déchire tout?
So Apologize had two versions, a pop version and a more R&B version. How do you feel working with Timbaland, such a big icon in pop music and R&B music today?
We didn't really think about it that much. It was just kind of, it happened, and for us it was a good thing. It was we're always thankful for him exposing the song, but it was good and it was bad, because in most of the world that song was credited as Timbaland featuring OneRepublic, and so like his album sold another 1 or 2 million copies because of that song, and we sold a lot of singles, but people were confused about what we were, and the song itself was way more pop than we ever were. We started as an alternative rock band, and then it shifted after Apologize. Apologize was so pop that we were like, well, what do we do? This song is over here, and we're over here. So what we've done in the last 6 years is kind of moved a little more to the middle, and working with Tim was great for then, but again, for now, it's been exciting because, again, with like Counting Stars and the other songs that we've put out, I think it's important for a band to find an identity, and you can't do that if you're working with a producer that's more famous than anybody.
Et en fait, ça nous est un peu tombé dessus, mais on est quand même très content d'avoir travaillé avec lui. Ça a été aussi un gros moteur pour lui, pour son album et tout ça. Euh, Malgré tout, nous, on a surtout, l'important pour nous, c'est de pouvoir de rééquilibrer aussi, faire comprendre aux gens que c'était pas juste ça, nous, notre musique, et pouvoir aussi évoluer dans notre sens et faire quelque chose d'un peu plus, pas forcément pop variété comme ce single était, parce que c'était un peu plus que nous, notre musique, en fait. Donc,
On va parler de l'album Native qui est sorti l'année dernière. C'est un album avec plein d'univers musicaux différents. C'est quoi? C'est que vous avez plein d'envie ou vous avez surtout envie de surprendre le public?
the new album Native has different musical genres. So, what was your actually idea behind this? Is it trying to surprise people? Or?
Yeah, we changed our sound again, probably because of Apologize. I mean, we were big fans of like growing up, like Oasis and U2 and a lot of the British music from the 90s. We probably would have sounded a lot more that kind of like British rock had Apologize not happened. So because of that, it kind of opened the door. It's like, well, okay, we can do anything. You know, now we can just do, in a way, kind of like Coldplay has done. You know, their first album came out, it was rock, whatever, you know, light rock, and every album has been the shift. And some of the other bands, I think U2 did the same thing. And that's more how we see ourselves, where it's like our taste changes, you know. We like 2 years ago, my favorite band was Vampire Weekend. Now, you know, I don't listen to that much Vampire Weekend, and I like other stuff. I like Bibio, British, you know, DJ guy, and I like trying to think, what am I listening to the most right now? I like the Avicii album, you know. I like Cassius a lot, French, obviously. And then there's some, you know, there's some rock stuff that I like too. So our taste changes, and so with this band, if we had a very specific sound, like say, I always say Mumford and Sons, like Mumford and Sons, they're great, but once you're tired of that sound, that's it, you know. So for us, it was like we don't ever want to have one specific thing. We evolve with the time. So in 2017, we will evolve and we will probably reflect. We're not chasing sounds, but we reflect kind of where the world's at and where we're at as we travel around the world. So that's kind of what this album is. It's a reflection of what we took in 2013, traveling around the world, recording this album. That's really what it is. Yeah.
Ce qui est important pour nous, c'est vraiment que le son, notre son puisse évoluer, parce que nous, nos goûts évoluent aussi. À l'époque, je me rappelle, j'adorais Oasis, et à la même façon, quelqu'un comme Coldplay, les albums peuvent évoluer, le son peut évoluer. Ce qui était important pour nous, justement, c'est de pouvoir mettre toutes ces différentes influences dans cet album en 2013, surtout avec toutes les tournées qu'on a fait, les différents artistes qu'on a vus. Voilà.
Alors il y a Apologize, il y a Counting Stars, il y a des groupes qui nous regardent sur virginradio.fr, s'ils peuvent leur faire un petit coucou.
Can you say hi to the guys looking at us on virgin.fr on
Hey.
the camera here?
How you doing?
Moi, je
Bonjour.
suis sûr qu'il y a des groupes qui regardent et qui se disent putain, les mecs ils font tube sur tube, il y a forcément une recette miracle, un cocktail idéal pour faire un tube.
There must be other bands thinking like, these guys are just stringing the hits one after the other. There must be like a recipe. How do you do it?
The focus. I will tell you.
Je vais vous dire. Comment on fait.
The secret. The thing is, I think Zach can attest to this. From the moment we started this band, I think I was always preaching to anyone who would listen. It's about the songs. It's about the songs. The song comes first. The song comes first. The thing that so many other artists get caught up in. Look, when we started, like, our image sucked. Like, we were definitely not the coolest guys in the room at all, and we're still not. But we'd see other bands when we played Coachella the first year we started, and everyone there was cooler than us, and they had these cool images. Like, there's like, oh, that's the coolest looking guy ever, and look at their outfits and look at how they look. 90% of those bands are gone because they didn't have songs. They had a cool look, they had 5 minutes, or they had the 1 year where they were on the cover of this magazine, but it was all about that moment. and you go, oh yeah, I remember that band, and the ones that have lasted, and I use U2 as an example, and I've gotten to know Bono very well, and he knows better than anybody in the world. It's about the songs. Chris Martin, he knows the same thing. It's about the songs, and so what people want, what moves people, and becomes the soundtrack to their lives are great songs. Because when you're driving around, or you're falling asleep, or you're in an airplane, you can't look at this jacket or what I'm wearing, or you don't give a shit who I'm dating or who I'm married to. All you hear is the music. So at the end of the day, the best songs win. And I think the reason that we've lasted and we will continue to last is because that is at the top of the pyramid always. So nothing else. All the other things are important. A great live show. If you have great songs and your live show is terrible, then you're gonna die. But the songs have to be great. And I think just a lot of people lose sight of that.
En fait, il n'y a pas vraiment de recette, mais la leçon, c'est quand même de garder en tête que c'est la chanson qui prime d'abord. Et autant, je vois beaucoup de groupes qui sont peut-être plus cool que nous, qui ont été plus cool que nous, mais au final, l'important, c'est pas forcément l'image d'un groupe. Quand on écoute une chanson, on s'attache d'abord au principe même de la chanson, ce que ça nous évoque, en fait. Donc, c'est sur ça la leçon qu'on a retenue, en fait. Et c'est pour ça qu'on espère pouvoir durer dans le temps. C'est parce qu'on met vraiment ça on va dire, au milieu de notre base de réflexion, quoi.
Est-ce qu'on peut juste les applaudir pour montrer comment ils sont cool? Pour finir, ceux qui nous regardent sur virginradio.fr, vous les verrez peut-être au Trianon à Paris les 6, 7 et 8 mars prochains. C'est complet de chez complet. Est-ce que c'est flippant, stressant ou excitant?
So all your shows are sold out. How do you feel? Are you a bit worried? Are you? Is it stressful? Is it?
It's not stressful. It's well, it is in the way that we actually what we want to do, if we can, and I don't know, we have to ask our promoter, but we wanted the third show to be moved to the Zenith, because that opens up, I think, another 4,000 tickets. So if I actually emailed my manager an hour ago saying, because we also just did Le Grand Journal earlier today, and we figure, what is it going to be, 2-3 weeks from now when the shows are, I think we could maybe sell out the Zenith. I'd like the third show to be the Zenith. So if you're watching and you work for our promoter, can you open up the Zenith, Z, and we'll do it.
C'est pas stressant, au contraire, on aurait voulu faire un Zénith en 3e date, justement pour clore un peu cette petite tournée à Paris, quoi.
Pour la prochaine fois, pour l'année prochaine.
Next time,
non?
maybe. Yeah.
Ouais.
Let's make it happen.
Pour finir, est-ce que vous avez un rituel avant de monter sur scène? Est-ce que vous faites un truc avant de monter sur scène, avant un Paris in Live par exemple?
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage? It's something you do all the time.
What do you do?
Drink? No?
It's very
Fiesta? Party?
It's very important. No, we usually watch movies.
On regarde des films.
And he does
not
Bikram
cool.
yoga.
Yeah.
He does Bikram yoga.
Fait
We
du-
watch movies.
fait du yoga.
No.
C'est pas vrai. C'est pas vrai.
We usually have like
But he
a
does
shot
it
of
wrapped
something.
in leather. He wears a full leather outfit and then does Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
Il se met tout en cuir.
I'll give you the real answer since that was total horseshit. We don't have a pre-show set ritual, and part of it is none of us are superstitious at all. And I feel like if you start doing that, then it becomes this thing where what happens on the day when all of a sudden something happens and you don't have time to do your ritual, so then you walk on stage and you're like, oh my god, I didn't do my ritual, I'm totally screwed. And so we never started it. The only thing that we require is like quiet. So before we do show, it's like shut the doors, no one comes in for like an hour, and just everyone leaves, and we're just very peaceful.
On n'est pas superstitieux, donc on n'a pas de rituel, mais par contre, on voulait pas être prisonnier justement d'un rituel. Par contre, on aime bien être au calme, en fait, avant un concert.
On va faire un peu de calme s'il vous plaît. Beaucoup d'applaudissements. C'est parfait. Dernière question. Y a-t-il une question qu'on ne vous a jamais posée en interview et que vous aimeriez qu'on vous pose?
Is there a question you've never been asked and you would like you to have been asked with that question?
Sure. I mean, yeah, which question that I've never been asked?
And you wish you had.
I wish I had. What exact? Help me out.
I don't know. I feel like you would like someone to ask you where your favorite Parisian restaurant is.
Ah,
Okay.
Tu aimerais bien que quelqu'un te demande où sont tes restaurants parisiens favoris?
so.
Right now, my favorite. I think the best view that I've seen in Paris. There's two answers. One is the best view is Kong, Kong. Have you been there?
No.
So it's right next to Pont Neuf, across from the big Louis Vuitton. Tonight, yeah. But they have the entire. It's in the middle, across from Louis Vuitton headquarters. I think right on Pont Neuf. It's like one. The address is like one Pont Neuf, like un Pont Neuf.
Ouais, le Kong, le restaurant en haut de
Yeah.
justement à côté du
And but
Pont
the
Neuf, à
entire
Paris.
top of the restaurant is glass, and so when you're sitting there, you can see just like it's crazy. You could see the Seine, and you could see the streets, and you can see the weather and see everything. And I think the best food that I've had is probably chez Georges.
Chez Georges.
Yeah,
Chez Georges.
the bistro, the old. There's only 3 or 4 bistros left in Paris that are like original bistros, and I forget the address, but I had Cassius, the guys from Cassius, told me to go there, and it was the best meal I've had in France.
Mesdames, vous savez où les trouver ce soir? Chez Georges. Voilà.
Chez Georges.
Il y a des fans,
C'est
il y a
bon.
des fans. Est-ce que vous avez une question pour finir?
Une question.
One question.
I just wanted to ask, you've written with a lot of artists,
Mhm.
or a lot of artists, why, no, not why, but who was your favorite to write with and why?
Adele was my favorite.
Yeah, I saw you wrote
I did. I wish I did Rolling in the Deep. My friend did that. I did Rumor Has It and Turning Tables. Yeah. Adele was my favorite. Beyonce is close. She's. I mean, they're both amazing. It's just different. It's different experience. Beyonce is one of the sweetest, nicest people, and just floats in the room and then floats out of the room, and she's fantastic. And but Adele is my favorite because she. It's just effortless. It's easy, very easy for her. She walks in, and she is one of the best songwriters. She's not only the best singer, but if she wasn't a singer, she would be probably the most successful songwriter in the business. She's a 10 at both. And then she walks in, and anything you say, you could say, I think we should cover Happy Birthday, and then she's just like, Happy Birthday, and she's ridiculous. So
La question c'était donc quelle était
Fantastique.
votre collaboration favorite et la personne pour laquelle il a écrit une chanson, et c'était donc Adele avec, qui rend vraiment les choses très très simples parce qu'elle a vraiment beaucoup de talent.
Si
and
Adèle-
Birdie would be up there too.
Mais
I just did 3 songs with Birdie, and I did a song called Words as Weapons that is going to be her next single. We redid the whole song, and it's up tempo now, and we just mixed it last week, so it's incroyable.
En tout cas, si Adèle et Birdie nous regardent sur virginradio.fr, ça va leur faire plaisir. On peut les applaudir, s'il vous plaît. OneRepublic en live. One Republic en live pour le Paris in Live.